told stories to our community, and I'm so proud of that. There is your power of photography. There is your power of photojournalism.
The Courier-Journal's staff, I mean, it was truly Camelot. I mean, that's where everybody wanted to go work. And that was the reputation that paper had.
The time that we had as photographers, I just thank God that I got a chance to experience it.
Deep, honest storytelling is the legacy of the Courier-Journal photo department.
It is the world's coolest job ever.
It would be hard to overstate the emotional roller coaster ride photojournalists are on, ranging from alien sightings and state fair shenanigans to unspeakable tragedy, sometimes in our own building.
I covered several mine disasters. Would go in and cover after an explosion in a coal mine. We'd go in and stay all the way through the funerals, and for several days, body recovery and funerals. We'd get to know the families, and there were 2 or 3 of those mine disasters back to back, and we got to know the people at the funeral home in that area because they pretty well. At the second explosion, there was a funeral with 3 brothers that died in that explosion. I made a pretty powerful picture of family members digging their graves up on the side of that hill, and it's a pretty dramatic picture. And the hill is sloped like this, you know, and they're digging those graves on the side of that hill, and it's mostly rock, and just using picks and shovels, you know, to dig the graves for their family members. It was pretty wild. And so there were 3 hearses there, and they loaded the caskets into the hearses at the church from the church. And the guy from the funeral home came up to myself and the reporter I was working with, Ralph Dunlop, and he said, "We're short of people." I said, "Could you drive this hearse for us?" And we said, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, we don't even drive this hearse, the first hearse, you know, so we can't." And there's CNN's up there, you know, NBC, all the networks are up there filming everything. And so we said, okay. So Ralph gets behind the wheel, and I hop in the shotgun, and we're driving that hearse, and we start up this hill to the cemetery, and it's just mud. I mean, it's just, and Ralph didn't hit it quite fast enough to get up very far up the hill, and we just bogged down in the mud. And so that stopped the whole parade. You know, all 3 of the hearses had to stop way at the bottom, and they had to carry the hearses, the caskets, all the way up that hill by hand. Pretty amazing, really. Some of the things that I've seen in this career.
Yes, my ethnicity has been an asset and has been a liability. Turn asset, it can work for you, it can work against you. There was a shooting down some little small town in Kentucky where these black fellas had shot a white fella. And Jack Flynn, who was the pilot photographer at the time, was charged with flying me down there to this essentially a Klan rally. I didn't know it. And so we went down there, we had a little single Cessna, and we landed, and we had to rent a car. And the car was a great big Mercury, great big Buick, some big throwback 60 car with a big V8 engine in it with headers on it or something. It was like a hot rod. And we get a little like Dukes of Hazzard, man. We were running down there. Jack was driving, Jack, the white fella, very personable guy. When we came into town, we had the guys with the cones on, the white cones. Jack, they both had the windows down, this thing didn't have air conditioning. And he comes up to the window, he hands me his leaflet about this rally that was gonna be at the cemetery where this white fella had been buried. And Jack Flynn told me, he said, no matter what happened, Darrell, I'm with you. I said, oh, okay, Jack. So there I was between the Klan and another white fellow. I'm with you, and another guy I know didn't care nothing about me. And we went to the little grocery store at the crossroads there. It was ran by a black couple. We asked them, you know, where's this place at that's supposed to have this gathering? They say it's on the other side of the road, down about a quarter mile. Blacks on one side, whites on the other side. And we drive down there to the cemetery, and nobody was there. So I get out with all my gear on, you know, my 2 motor drives and all my glass hanging off me so I could look like a photographer. And then all of a sudden, I start hearing these like diesel trucks, these heavy trucks. And man, up over the ridge came a parade of people. The parking lot filled up, came to the gravesite. There was cars everywhere. People got out their trucks, put up Confederate flags, and then some of them, boy, they had suits on. Jack came to me, he said, Darrell, no matter what happened, I'm with you. I wasn't afraid, but I was concerned.